If you're looking for a personal loan online, then definitely watch this video because I needed one in my own life, and through a lot of research I found a few that are worth considering that I want to share with you guys. So in this video I'll be covering the pros and the cons of each of the different personal loan companies so that you can know for yourself if it's worth getting one or not. And if you just found this channel, I'm Jason with Honest Finance, and I make a lot of videos on different topics that'll give your life and your finances more value. So feel free to subscribe if you want to, but now let's just start talking about personal loans. Before I start talking about all the different loan companies, I do want to talk about personal loans in general first, so just be patient here because I want you to be more informed. So basically, if you need money for debt consolidation, home improvements, or medical bills, then I would definitely consider looking into a personal loan. They're not an excuse for not saving up for big expenses, but sometimes you might need a lot of money faster than you can actually save it up. Because I had a huge yard project that had to get done by a certain date, and so I had no other choice than to look into different personal loans so that I could actually get the job done in time. There's a ton of things that qualify for personal loans, but please just be responsible with them because they're not the cheapest loans, and I only want you to look for them if you have no other choice. Trust me, getting out of credit card debt is probably a much better reason to get a personal loan than to take a vacation with one, but that's just my opinion. And if you book a company for a wedding and they have better financing than a personal loan would, then just obviously go with the wedding company instead because that's in your best interest. Now, if you search for best personal loans on the internet, you're going to find 50 different companies all competing for your business, and to be honest, a lot of the big companies don't even have the best rates and terms. I don't like to pay more than I have to for anything, and with personal loans there were just way too many to choose from, but I did find different things that you can look for through the research I did. I noticed that a lot of the big lenders charge a 5% origination fee on the total of the loan's value, which is a total ripoff. Because if you've got a $20,000 loan with a 5% origination fee, then you're instantly just going to be losing $1,000. Now what this means is that from day one, you're only going to have $19,000 on your $20,000 loan, which is just a total waste of money, but there are a lot of lenders that don't charge origination fees, and those are the only ones that I'm going to be talking about. So just be aware that even some of the biggest lenders out there that look really good, like Prosper and Lending Club, they charge origination fees, so just watch out for those. And then if anything out there sounds too good to be true, watch out because it is. There's a lot of loan scams out there, so I want you guys to be well aware that they do exist and they prey on social media sites, so just be careful. So if you guys see any comments on this video that have a phone number or an email, disregard them 100% because they are just fishing for information and they're not real. I'll try my best to delete all of them, but if you guys do find any of those types of comments, just disregard them 100% and don't follow any of their instructions. Now finally, here are the top personal loan companies I'd recommend looking into right now, and thank you so much for being patient. The first lender on my list of personal loans is called Marcus by Goldman Sachs, and they have really good personal loans. Marcus advertises that they don't charge any fees, and on top of that, they've currently got rates that start just under 7% and then go all the way to 25%. They'll let you borrow between $3,500 and $40,000, and then you can pay them back between 36 to 72 months, which is really good. Marcus does require you to select a purpose for the loan, which is totally normal, but they've got a lot to choose from. Just keep in mind that with personal loans, every single category is going to have different rates because you can't expect medical bills to have the same rate as a vacation, but usually they are going to be pretty close to each other. And understand that all the rates listed in this video can change over time. So if you're watching this video a long time after I published it, just keep in mind that the rates can be different just based on the prime rate and different factors like that. But honestly, they don't change that much over a few years, so most of the information should stay pretty accurate for a long time. Now obviously, you've got to have really good credit to qualify for the best rates with Marcus, but just keep in mind that they do accept fair credit applications as well, so if your credit's not that good, then Marcus is a pretty good loan to look into. So if you want to get a personal loan with bad credit, then I definitely recommend going with Marcus because they don't charge any fees unlike a lot of the other guys. Most of the lenders out there won't even accept your application if you've got bad credit, and that's where Marcus can come in handy, but just keep in mind that they do have rates that are as high as 25%, which is really high. So if you really do get a 25% rate with Marcus, then I would definitely reconsider and look into some other loans because that's going to be higher than most credit cards. Personal loans can be very expensive if your credit isn't optimal, so definitely work on your credit long before you ever even need a personal loan. You can always apply and just see what you qualify for, but at the end of the day, bad credit is always going to cost you way too much in interest. And then just so you're aware, Marcus also has a savings account that actually pays more than 2%, which is one of the best yields in the entire savings industry. Overall, I'd say that Marcus is a really good choice for personal loans, but the only thing I don't like is that you have to apply to basically find out what you qualify for. Because currently, if you want to have any clue of what you're going to pay with Marcus, you have to apply first, but at least they do advertise that they do a soft credit check, so it's really not that big of a deal. For me personally, I sort of like to see how much the loan is going to cost me before I actually apply with someone, but it's really not that big of a deal, and Marcus still made my list. Now next on my list is LightStream Loans by SunTrust Bank, and they are one of the best loan companies out there if you're looking for something over $5,000. They're owned by SunTrust Bank, and LightStream is actually the company that I have a personal loan with because at the end of the day, they had the best rates, and that's kind of the biggest deal when it comes to getting a personal loan. LightStream doesn't charge any fees either, and they'll beat any competitor's rate by 1/10 of a point for a comparable loan. So that way you'll always be able to get the best rates with LightStream Loans out of all of the competition, and then on top of that, they've got a huge selection of personal loans to choose from as well. LightStream offers all kinds of personal loans with rates that start at about 6% and go to 17% with autopay, which is really good. Their loans range from $5,000 all the way to $100,000, which is the most I've ever seen for a personal loan. And then you can choose to pay back the loans from 24 months all the way to 144 months, which is actually 12 years. Now you've got to understand though that the rates and the terms all fluctuate based on a few different things. They're going to be based on how much you're borrowing, the length of the loan, and then what you're using the loan for. So it's not like you can borrow $5,000 and then pay it back over 12 years, which is something that I wouldn't recommend doing anyway. Now they do require really good credit, which is one of the main reasons their rates and terms are so good, so just keep that in mind. LightStream also has a lot of auto loans too, so if you're looking for a new car or you want to refinance, then I definitely check them out for that kind of stuff as well. One thing that really helped me on LightStream's website is they give you a really good idea of the rates and terms before you actually have to apply for a loan. So basically, if you wanted to get a debt consolidation loan with them, then you'll actually be able to see kind of what you're going to be paying before you actually have to apply. Obviously, it's just a ballpark rate, but at least you can see what you can sort of expect to pay based on your credit score. Now, I did find that the rates with LightStream are going to be the best if you borrow over $10,000 and then you pay them back within 36 months. But even if you choose to pay back the loan over 36 months, their rates are still some of the best in the entire industry. I'll leave an affiliate link in the description below, which means I may be compensated if you click through it, but just keep in mind that LightStream Loans has a ton of really good personal loans to choose from, and I'm never going to recommend something that I don't think is the best value for you guys. And if you've made it this far into the video, can you please comment down below and just say I'm still here? That way I can still see who's watching the video. Thanks. Now next on my list is American Express personal loans, and they've got some really good rates to choose from, but you do have to have one of their credit cards in order to qualify for their personal loans. Their rates start at about 7%, and then you can borrow between $3,500 and $40,000, which is a pretty good range. But the really cool thing about their loans is that you can pay them back between 12 and 36 months, which is really fast. So if you need a little bit of money for a short period of time, then definitely check out American Express personal loans because they have really short terms. But on the flip side, if you want to get a loan that's longer than 36 months, then it's generally not going to happen with American Express because they don't offer them. They've got a basic rate simulator on their website too, which is always handy. And then the really cool thing is that it's really easy to apply with American Express because generally they already have all your information from being a card member. And another cool thing is that they'll actually link your loan to their main website, so whenever you need to check anything from American Express, everything is always in one place, and that's really handy. And if you care, they also have a savings account that pays more than 2%, which is really good, and then you don't have to be a member to qualify for it. Overall, I'd say that American Express personal loans are definitely worth looking into if you're a card member or you plan on being one. Now last on my list of personal loans is called TD, which stands for Toronto Dominion Bank out of Canada. They've got rates from about 7 to 19%, and then you can borrow between $2,000 and $50,000, which is a really good range. And then you can choose to pay them back between 12 and 60 months, which is also a really good range. Out of all the lenders that I've been talking about, TD really stood out to me because of the large range of money that you can borrow with them, and then the range of lengths that they offer as well. They're also more likely to accept bad credit scores, but they are only available in a certain number of states, so you're going to want to check on that if you're looking into TD for a loan. I had an auto loan with them a few years ago, and they were just fine as far as customer service goes, and even though they're out of Canada, it doesn't make a difference if you're in the States as long as your state qualifies for the loan. Honestly, in my opinion, their website wasn't nearly as good as the other lenders that I've been talking about, but they still made my list just because they have a really good variety of loans to choose from. Now these are the best personal loans I found, but I'm quickly going to recap all of their main features, so just pay attention here. Marcus has really great rates and a lot of really good loans to choose from, and then if your credit isn't that good, they also accept fair credit applications as well. But just remember that the loan can cost a lot more if your credit isn't very good. And then LightStream Loans is my favorite because they've got the best rates and they have the most loans to choose from, but you've got to have good credit if you're going to go with them. They'll also beat any competitor's rate by 1/10 of a point, so overall they are definitely my #1 choice if you're looking for a personal loan for over $5,000. And then American Express personal loans is definitely a good choice if you're already a card member with them because everything is easier because they already have your information. Their rates are really competitive and they have a lot of short loan options to choose from, which is good if you just want to get a little bit of money and pay it back over a short amount of time. But if you want to have a lower monthly payment with American Express by extending the loan, that's not going to happen because generally the loans only go up to 36 months. And then the reason that TD loans made my list is because they have a wide variety of loans to choose from, and then their payback terms are also wide as well. And then they also accept fair credit applications as well. So if your credit's not very good, then definitely look into TD for a personal loan because you might actually get one with them. And keep in mind that if you do want to apply for a loan with them, they're not available in every single state, so just be aware of that. Now, my last word of advice is to make sure that you apply with a few different loan companies before you actually go with one specific company. Their rates can fluctuate a lot based on the company that you're going with, so definitely check a few different companies because at the end of the day, your personal loan rate is what's going to cost you the most money when it comes to interest. I applied with a few different companies before I went with LightStream because I just wanted to see what they would offer me so that I could make sure that I was getting the best value with whomever I was going with. At the end of the day, you've got to make the choice as to who you want to go with for a personal loan, but hopefully this video can help you make a better decision on who you want to go with. Once again, I'm Jason with Honest Finance, and I make a lot of videos on different topics that'll give your life and your finances more value. So feel free to subscribe if you guys want to, or just give this video a like. That's all.